Hello everybody, hope you're well. Welcome to another exciting episode in the Builder Destroys His Own Home series. This episode is going to be slightly different from the rest because it's only going to focus on one element of the job, and that is the staircase. The one from the ground floor up to the first floor. Now for those of you who are familiar with this project, first and foremost, thank you very much for watching. But you will know that right from the start I've been umming and ahhing, do I, don't I replace that staircase? It's took a bit of a battering over the years, it's got a bit creaky. Do I replace it? Well, it's an expense, isn't it? We've got a lot going on here, as you may or may not be aware. Is it really something that I can shell out for? Is it really going to be worth it? It's like for like. But what I've done around the house, around that staircase, has got everything solid. I've took all the floors out, replaced all the joists, everything. This house now is rock solid. Now I've got a creaky staircase. What do I do? Well, whether I did or whether I didn't, there's only ever going to be one company that I use in order to supply the staircase, and that is Stairbox. There's many reasons, we'll go into a few of them later on. Top of my head, the quality of products, the customer service, both are second to none, the value for money, all that sort of stuff. Well, how do I know that? Well, I've used them before, more than once. In fact, the staircase here that goes from the first floor into the loft is a Stairbox staircase. That was bought and installed before our YouTube days. And during our YouTube days, we bought one off them for the staircase at the Harborne job, for their loft extension. And those videos can be seen within our videos. If you go into our channel, you'll see them there. These are the thumbnails that you're looking for. This little three-part series within the series of that entire build. Now, as I say, we're only ever going to use them. Well, lo and behold, a few weeks ago, by pure luck, Stairbox, I've been watching the channel, emailed me and said, if you do want to replace that staircase, we'll supply it for you for free. Well, my do I, don't I, quickly turned into a hell yes please, as you can, I'm sure you can appreciate. So we're going to go through every aspect of designing, ordering, the delivery and the fitting of a Stairbox staircase for you now, so you know where to go should you need one, because to be honest, I wouldn't go anywhere else other than theirs. So here we go then. We're going to start off with the design of it, just to show you just how easy that their 3-step guide is within their website. And trust me, if I can use a website, if I can use a step-by-step guide within a computer, then anyone can, trust me. So we're going to go through that now, and then we'll go through why exactly I'm changing the staircase, and then we'll do it. Well, before we buy the actual staircase, we've got to design it. And as I said earlier, it is very, very simple. You just go to stairbox.com. This is the home page. Scroll down past the beautiful pictures, and there you will see design a new staircase. Next to that is renovate your existing staircase. So you can give the one you've got a face if you wanted to. Change your pine spindles for glass, your treads for oak, that kind of thing. But we're not into that at the moment. We just want to design a new staircase. So you click that, and then you will come across their 3-point system. Measure, quote, order. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Well, believe me, it is. So you just go to the measuring guide, scroll down, past all the information, read it if you want to, and then design and buy staircases. Now, this is where we want to be. So, all we need now is to fill out this column on the left-hand side with all the measurements that are relevant to us. So let's go through them then. UK domestic, yes it is. Obviously if it's commercial, it'd be different regulations, that kind of thing. But we're UK domestic. Next one, floor height. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you're unsure, you just press the question mark, and that's all the information that you need, with a little diagram as well. Could not be simpler. So you take that measurement, and let's just say that we want to change it, and you can change it in 5mm increments, and let's just say that ours is actually 2605, so we've changed that. Going down, next one, ceiling height. What does that mean? Again, you press that question mark, there are all these, that's information that you need, and let's just say that ours is actually 2.4. And as you can see, every time that I'm changing the measurements on the preset generic ones, the picture on the right-hand side is changing automatically to the information that we're putting in. So moving one down then. Number of risers, 13. That's number of steps. So the one you've got at the moment, let's say that's 13. You want to keep it the same. Okay, we're going to keep it at 13 steps. And it's already worked it out that means that with the measurements that you've put in and 13 steps, each step is going to be 200.4 mil high. Individual going, what does that mean? Again, you can click that and it will tell you exactly what it means. What it does mean is that the going is the tread, the horizontal part of the step. The riser being the vertical, the going being the horizontal. And it already works it out that it is 223 millimeters. That's the depth of the step. And let's just say, well, I've got big feet and I want to change that. And I'll change it to, I want a nice round 235 millimeters. And there we go, that's changed. And that's changed the angle. As you can see there, the actual pitch of the stairs now is 40.5 degrees. And that, if you go out of these parameters, if you want the tread so deep that the pitch of the stairs goes out of regulations, then it will automatically tell you. So don't worry about that. You can't order something that's wrong. It will tell you. So there we go. And as you can see now, all the dimensions that you put in have been inputted to the diagram on the right. And if I wanted to, which I do, I can press 3D and I can have a proper look around it. This is obviously more useful if I've added a turn to it at the bottom or at the top, or it comes back around on itself, that kind of thing. And there we have it. And all through this, you'll see this phone number popping up every now and again. If you're ever unsure, phone that number. A human will pick up and talk you through it. They really are that good. Their customer support and technical support really is second to none. If yours staircase turns left or it turns right, you press those buttons, it takes you all through that, but ours is straight. And that's all that we want. Balustrade, materials, you can add whatever you want onto it. We don't want that at the moment. All we want is the actual staircase. And as you can see at the bottom, it's already worked out the price for me. If I wanted this staircase, all I've got to do is press purchase and I will be charged, including VAT, £419.28. And there we go. You put in your personal details and it will arrive at your door 7 to 10 working days later. It really is as simple as that. Obviously, as well, you can change the width of it if you want it a bit wider or a bit narrower. And there we go. That is as simple as it gets. It really is. Now, if you're going to employ a carpenter to do this, which I suggest that you do, I'm all for people giving things a go, but if you're unsure about it, they are big, they're heavy, they can be quite dangerous, the whole process can be. You can invite your carpenter around. When they come around to have a look at the job, you can get this website up and go through everything there and then. Pay for it there and then if you wanted to. And as I say, 10 to 10 working days later, it will be at your front door. And that is that. So let's just pretend then that those details that I've put in are relevant to me. I've pressed purchase. It's going to turn up in a week and a half. Today's that day. So let's go to my existing staircase now. We will talk you through exactly why we're changing it in the first place, and then we'll rip it out. And this is the staircase that we're ripping out and replacing, and we're replacing it like for like, a little bit narrower for reasons why we'll go into later. But apart from that, same amount of risers, same depth on the treads, same angle, everything. So if it's going to be like for like and it's going exactly in the same place, what's the point in doing it? Well, let me just walk you through a couple of the issues that we've got. Look at that, that's broken, that's obviously smashed. That's riser there and that tread, that's OSB. Let's see if I can get it to squeak as I go up. We won't do it now. There, oh, did you hear that? There, that's all squeaking, that's all broken. And the reason for that is that a couple of years ago, when I was making preparations to put this staircase in, as I showed you earlier, the other stairbox staircase, I take the ceiling down for it, and I just thought, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the mess and then I'm going to clean up. So I sheeted up the doorways and then I went for it. And I hoofed off the ceiling, which was overboarded plasterboard. I wanted to get the shovel on behind it and just give it a yank, thinking it was all going to fall down, boom, onto the floor and take it out. I missed a screw, one screw, and it pivoted on that screw, vertical, and then gave way, plummeted to the earth like a dart, and smashed through these steps here. We were leaving here at that moment I should say, so I hastily rebuilt that step in OSB before the kids got home from school just to make it all safe. This was carpeted, so I peeled it all back, then put the carpet back over it. It's took some damage as we've been doing the job there and here, so I just can't bring myself, having, hear that squeak again, having gone to all the expense and time and effort to get this floor and all the joists perfectly solid, not squeaking, nice and strong, only then to live with a potentially squeaky stair. Every time that I'd walk up that, I'd just think, oh, I had my chance to change it and I didn't do it. I could try and repair it, but you know what these things are like. Eventually, once all the moisture's in here and everything, and once it all dries out, it's just going to start squeaking again. I've convinced myself of it. So we're going to replace it. So that being said, we're going to start ripping this out now, get it in a skip that's out there, ready for the new one to be delivered today. Well, there we have it. It doesn't amount to much when you pile it up like that, does it? That's the staircase out. Have to excuse the noise. There's some road work that's going on outside the house. Just when I'm having a delivery, which is perfect timing. And that's how the house would have looked like originally, with a corridor going straight down, with a door into this room. Hello, Rich. This is, you remember James, don't you? We'll talk about James in a second. To his face, obviously. And then there would have been a door here, as you can see, into the second reception room, and then you would have walked all the way straight down into the kitchen, and that would have been that. Original floor is still there, so we're just waiting now for our delivery slot for the stairs to turn up, and they're going to go straight in. Now, if we just go back round to who's helping us today, as I say, Richard and James. So you might remember James from this episode, where he got in contact via the YouTube comments and asked to, he's doing an apprenticeship, and he asked to give us a hand, and he did, and he said, when you're doing the stairs, call me back, because I need it for my evidence, and here he is. Hello, James. Hello. Now, you might also recognise James from Epidemic, because you've been doing some work with him, haven't you? I have, yeah. Now, this is a good story, this is. How did you get in touch with Epidemic?
So, I wrote Tony a letter, and I just said to him that I'm struggling to, like, with you as well, to get...
Struggling with me?
Well, yeah, that as well.
Tony's been struggling with Adam.
Yeah.
Most people do, to be fair.
My evidence. So I wrote him a letter just to say, like, you know, if you don't mind, I need a bit of roofing and whatnot. And I knew he was doing a roof, so got in contact with him, and then got all of my roofing ticked off. But obviously, given where I work, which is the hospital, it's hard to get all the evidence. So
there you go.
People like yourself and Tony about me massively, like, get all the stuff and get me through it. So thank you.
Excellent. No worries at all. No, thank you for getting in touch. But what you don't know, a bit of a surprise for you, is that I've been in touch with Tony from Tony Vaney, and I've asked him to send me the letter.
Oh yeah.
And he has sent me the handwritten letter that you sent him. Now I also want you to read it, because it's a personal touch that has got you where you've got today. So Rich, you want to come and look at this? It's a It's lovely. It's a lovely thing.
I mean, look at that.
Dear Toon, here's a jab. Love Jams, age 23 and a half.
It is the attention to detail. I love what I do love is the choice of crayon colour.
It's the personal touch, isn't it, that's got you as far as you've got.
With a fist or
left-handed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fair play. Fair
I mean,
play,
a little
James.
smiley face. You can't mean what
Ingenuity.
really.
Ingenuity. Well, there we
So
go.
you just goes to show, make a little bit of effort, James. Look where you're getting
It's a
life.
long way. Get you a staircase, you know?
Fair play. Right, we'll wait for the staircase to turn up and then we'll get it fitted. Well, we've had a bit of luck here, I suppose. The road workers have gone for the day, it seems, and they've coned all this off, which means you can just come straight to where it's going to be delivered. So they just turned up right in the middle of their delivery slot they gave us. They gave us a 3-hour window, and they're more or less slap bang in the middle of it, which was ace. He also gave me a 40-minute warning, gave me a phone call, let me know he was on his way, so we're ready. So, excellent. This is how it comes. Look, straight out the back of the van. There it is. Where are we? There she is, look. So I'll get that off now. Straight in, straight up. And we'll show you what you get for your money and what turns up, and providing what you've ordered, obviously. And then we'll go from there. That delivery driver's a nice bloke, Ryan. Very nice. Helps us to hear. We've asked him to leave it out here because it's all dark in there, look. So I just wanted to show you exactly what you get, or what we've ordered, as opposed to what we've got. That's the null post, obviously. We'll have a look in that box a little bit later, let you know what it comes with. It's all quite nice, your QR code as well. Look, package 2 of 3, so it's all there, you know, you can check everything. It's ace. So now it's squeaky bum time. Will it fit? Because there's no doubt in my mind this is built millimetre perfect to what we ordered. But is what we ordered right? We shall see.
Where yours? It's a royal way, or are you going to say me?
It depends. If it goes in, then it's me.
It's me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll share the blame with you. So in theory then, obviously they're just going there, so straight in, or unwrap it first. Straight in, straight up. Hook it on.
Up and a bit of a twist on it.
Maybe. Manipulate it the best we can. Get it up there. The only thing we have got, you can't see it from here, but we've got the toilet, the salt pipe there, a bit of a trip hazard we've got to be careful of. But apart from that, let's get it up, get it in, see if it fits. Actually, very quickly before we do that, being that we're out in the sunlight and we can see in here, as I say, it's a bit dark in there, we'll have a look just to see what else that we've got. It's quite simple. A couple of dowels.
And dowels. I don't think the box is quite big enough for.
There you go. Yeah, plenty of airspace in that, isn't there? So there we go.
Dowels to put the nil caps on.
Beautiful. So we've got one for the top, one for the bottom of a null post, depending if you want to, you know, how decorative it's got to be. At the bottom, so obviously the bottom of some null posts, you'll see. Ours will be in the downstairs loop, so less important. But it's nice thing that they thought of.
It is.
Because I didn't ask for those. All I ordered was the null post. So that's kind of the standard, and that's the top what's that, top rise from the nosing for it.
Top nose, which you can sort of see, because that's the part there that hooks over your trimmer, which you'll see in a minute. That's where your big timber goes. That's where your finished floor is there, and that's your big trimmer. That hooks on top, and then these go on there just to finish up against all your floor. But we'll show that in a minute.
Excellent, and I'm pretty sure that this is also, is it pre-machined?
I think so.
Can't really see.
You can't really see in here, but we'll have a look.
I presume so by the fact they've sent you the dowels. I
Yes.
presume it built.
Yeah. Right then. Let's see if it fits.
Well, I don't know, I'll take it off your corner and walk it up. You okay, James?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Right, Dad.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just walk it nice and steady, James.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit nothing, I don't think. Okay, push to me then. Push to me. Okay. Right, rest there.
Yeah, I've got it. Sure? Yeah, go on then. Okay. Nice. Beautiful. I think.
Now we've got this up here. What we've just done, and that we did off camera, was we made sure that this mill goes on there. Now you can't presume anything, even though we know 100% Stairbox is great, and this has gone on easy. But we've just checked this, and it's gone on there, and it's lovely, and it all fits. Now what we're going to do is work out, even though everything's done for you at Stairbox, you know, all this is all cut out, ready to go. I'm just explaining to James now that we get this and this, which is the last riser, and your nosing, which butts into your, what is our OSB floor. It goes up against there like that, so you have to router this out to suit. Now let's just get that, let's just show that what I mean now. So, if you come around this side, James, I can show you. So, our chipboard flooring that we've got now is on top of our trimmer, which is your double piece of timber that's at the top of the stairs, isn't it? You've got to put your stairs onto it, and it's double because it's got to take structure, right? So when this goes in, it goes in there like that, right? It goes into there. Yeah, try a bit of panic. It's shorter because it goes against the null. I thought, hang on a second, this is shorter. It goes against a null post. Anyway. Oh. Right. So this then goes on the floor. So see this part there. Look, you see this?
Yeah.
What I've said to you is you've got two options. You can cut that off to the top of there, or you can do like we're going to do, which is why we put it in the hole first, which you would have seen on the footage earlier. Put it in the hole first, and we marked around our two stringers. So what we're going to do now, we're going to cut the OSB
to suit that.
out to suit this thickness. Yeah. So I haven't got to take any strength out of this. That's how I'm going to do it. You could take that off, push it, it's not a problem, and sit this on top of your existing OSB. OSB will sit in there like that.
That just gives you more meat on
it just gives you more meat on what's left. That's the only reason I'm doing it. It's just because it's my preference how to do it. So once you've cut it back, we'll then have to make sure that from our trimmer, this distance, then we've got enough cut back on the OSB to take this, because the OSB will be trimmed back to this level.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the OSB, this will come into that, and then all sit on top of the trimmer, so it all sits nice and flush. Because you know this is 18 and this is 18, so it works out. If you've got 22mm flooring, there's a bit of discrepancy. You can afford to put a bit of a packer on it, but you have to look at that when you do it. Right. If you get the 22mm chipboard flooring. But we haven't used that. So anyway, I'll go there like that, and then this will go in there like that, and then that will screw into there. Now, these are left off because it allows you to see your trimmer and get all your trimmer all level. Now once that's done, you can glue and screw all this in place. Yeah. Right? Loads of glue, plenty of screws, this is all pre-drilled look as well, which is brilliant, isn't it? All pre-drilled. We always put glue under here and put some screws then into the top of your riser to make sure it doesn't squeak. Loads of glue, plenty of screws, alright? Right then, do you understand that so far?
Yeah.
Right, without saying patronising, right? Because I'm having to think in my head as well. Right. So then, we talked about this, didn't we? Now you can see all this is all the holes are pre-drilled for us, and this is all pre-doweled. So when we put the dowels in, we'll talk about drawdown, which is making sure this pulls tight onto this, and again plenty of glue. So if you just move that riser out the way first, mate, and that nosing, we put this back on there now, look. Like that. That fits lovely. So all we'll do when we look at, you know about drawdown anyway, but you have to drill your holes in there, offset it, so when you knock your dowels in, which you've seen in the box, it pulls it in nice and tight with your glue on. Now that can't go up and down, so we know we can measure off that when we look at something else in a minute. Alright? Now, if you look at this, you see this one, I said to you earlier, can you see the way that's sort of slotted like that?
Yeah.
The way it goes in there?
Yeah.
Right? Now that could just go in there like that, look. And so in there like that. Sorry, like that. Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
But can you see what's happening there now? See this?
Yeah.
Where's our trimmer going to sit? Where does our double timber sit? Now that's the top of it.
Yeah.
Where does the face of it sit there? We can look at. We look up there. It's the face of the trimmer. Where's it going to sit?
Is that on the underside? Is it?
No, it goes there, doesn't it? That's our trimmer there. So can you see what we're going to do here now? We've got to house this out now.
Yeah.
So it goes over the trimmer. So all this is going to be taken out from this point. Look, if you look at this now, from there, yeah, that's the top of our trimmer. And we've got to take it out, whatever dimension that is there.
Oh, with you, yeah.
So look, let's say, let's just, right, I'm just tick mark, see that? So from there now, look, like that. Got to take all that out there like that now.
I see, yeah.
See?
So then that's it.
So then see, all of the weight of this as well, which is
yeah.
carrying this stringer, because this
Yeah.
isn't supported, is then carried on the trimmer.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Understand?
Yeah.
Right. I think I've got it right as well, I think we're alright. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. First of all, we mentioned, when I was explaining to James, we mentioned about the 18mm. Now, that was incorrect. This is actually 22mm MDF, not 18mm. So what we've had to do to match it up with our OSB 18mm or 19mm flooring is just run the saw down to make that 19mm. So when it sits at the top of the stairs, it's the same thickness as this floor without it being a bit of a horrible bump, which you're then going to see in your carpet. So it does comply lovely with the 22mm chipboard cable deck if that's what you want to use, but we use this because we prefer to use this. So all I've done then is I've just adjusted this housing to make it flush, this housing to make it flush. We then talked about housing all this, didn't we, James? James said he just wants to match, you could see it first. So all it does now is, when that goes in there like that, and that goes in there like that, what happens now is your main structure of your stair with your double trimmer sits at this position, and it all sits flush now, all the way through. That's why you have to house this off, so it sits flush. This then sits over the top of your trimmer and structures your stairs, which we'll go into shortly. You can also, so we've housed this out as well, and this is because we've got a trimmer going this way as well, and we've had to cut it into the space. That's why we've done that. This now allows us to go inside the trimmer and then over the brick wall, which again we'll show you in a minute. What we're going to do now is go into the drawer down to lock it all together. Now this is a 12mm hole. We've got 12mm dowels. So what I'm going to do, using a bit of timber so I don't damage the bit, I'll put that in the hole like that. Make sure it's nice and upright, like that. And all I'll do then is, once it's upright, all sides, make sure the nails are nice and tight, and give it a bit of a tap, like that. All that does now, that gives me a hole, which I can show you now. Like that. That gives me a hole there now, little marking, to know where my spade bit's got to be. Now what you've got to do now is to when you put the dowels in, it's called draw down because it draws the newel tight into the housing. So all I'll do now is, I'll just set that's what I do when I punch it, I'll just set it over very slightly and drill it slightly off centre towards the shoulder, which means when I knock the dowel in, it'll try to find its own hole and pull it in nice and tight to go through the hole. And that's what it's called draw downing. And that's that.
And that's that.
Not yet. Okay. Okay, James?
Yeah.
Incoming. Okay, mate. Okay, get yourself comfortable. You want to go at arms stretch? Okay, steady there. You okay there? Yeah. Stand still there. You got the weight of it? Don't keep moving backwards, just stand still. That's it. You're comfortable there now. Don't say, get yourself comfortable because you need to hold it for a bit. Got it? Yeah. Okay. They can cut, once I've got them in, I'm going to cut them now.
Oh, sorry.
But what I don't want to do is when you hit them, this is one for you, when you're knocking your dowels in, mark the length of your dowels, because there's no holes on one side. You don't want to smash it all the way through because you'll smash all the back of this out. So measure your dowels to the depth within 5mm of coming out, so there, 5mm, right?
And then
put a mark on it, and when you knock them in, stop at your line. No, you're not going to knock it too far and then smash all the side of your mountain wall post, especially if you're going to see it. Alright, that's the reason I've done that. Yes, they've got to be cut off, but I'll do it once it's done. Rather than trying to hold these, it's easy to do it when it's in. Alright, so there we are. Look at my dad. Some glue on your dowels as well. Going up. Can you see our line? Yeah, there it is. Cool. No squeaks, do we?
No, we do not.
It's tight, that is that one. I have to put some in there. One out.
One left there.
Ready then?
Yeah. Ready, mate?
Okay.
So coming back to here.
Yes, mate, yeah, get nice and steady. Just watch your foot. There's nothing underneath your feet there now, is there? Any bits of brick or anything? Just, was he actually sitting on the new floor or on the plastic?
On the new floor.
Go on then, carry on then, carry on. So watch your back, watch your back. Take it to you, mate, please.
Well out. How's that?
Then you want it to come further out my head's going to come in.
Just, yeah, take it to you, yeah, just kick it to you. Let 5 went off the wall, something like that. Okay. Yeah, just give it a good tap, that end now. Okay, that's it. Okay.
Well, before I take you through the cave into what will be the downstairs toilet, which is the underside of the stairs, to show you exactly how we've packed out either side of the stairs and fixed it into the wall either side to get it as solid as it can possibly be. A quick clarification regarding the top nosing from Stairbox, which is 22mm, and our flooring, which is 18. I've been in contact with them and I've said, do you do a variation on that nosing in case you come across other floors that are 18mm? And they said that they don't. They only do 22mm on that top nosing, simply because 99% of floors are 22mm. Well, I can't argue with that. We've used 18 here for reasons that are fully explained in this video. Funnily enough, it's the first one with James in. So a familiar face for you there. In short, our joists are a lot different. The spacings between them are a lot different. So that's why I've used 18mm, and it is perfectly fine for this kind of application. But for yours, that might not be the case. Just thought I'll clear that up. Right then, I'll take you through and I'll show you exactly how it's all been fixed. Well, as you can see, we've cracked on a bit. For those of you who follow this series of what's going on at this house, you'll know that there's a lot going on. So it's been a couple of days since the stairs arrived. And just to show you here, if I can keep out my own light, the stairs have been packed out and fixed, and I'll show you from this footage that's on screen now as well. Every other step, both sides of the stairs, as you can see there. Now the reason why there's so much narrower than the gap itself will become apparent when I show you the other side. But that is basically it. So it's packed solid, fixed through solid with some concrete fixings straight in, and as I say, every other step all the way down, and then it plasterboarded on the underside where it's going to be seen. I'm currently in the downstairs loo. That's what the underside of these stairs are. We cut a piece of 30mm timber and ran it straight down the middle, and then screwed into the step, just off centre actually, because obviously you've got those screws there, look. And then fixed the plasterboard to that, and that brings it all nice and flush. Simply because the plasterboard won't carry that width, so it does need a bit of support in the middle. So there you go, beautiful. Now where it's all going to come together is when I show you the other side. And here we are from said other side, the most important side, and they look beautiful. Obviously, as you can see, it's all been plastered in now. We'll go into the plastering on other episodes of this series, but needless to say, Matt has done a fantastic job, and it's evident now, isn't it, why we had the staircase made that much narrower. It's so then when it's all plastered down into quite a little twisted corridor, actually, considering the rest of the house has been nice and square. It was all even, either side, and that's why, and that is absolutely beautiful. Obviously the stringers are all going to get painted, and all that's going to get carpeted, so there's not a fat lot you'll actually see of it once it's all done. So to that end, it doesn't really matter what it looks like now, it's how it feels going up. And let's do the old squeak test. You ready? Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. And they feel like concrete. They honestly do. For two reasons. Quality product, there's no two ways about it, and they've been fitted correctly. The two go hand in hand. So I didn't realise just how bouncy the other stairs were. I mean, to be fair, I couldn't tell, to my mind they weren't, but they are like a rope bridge compared to these. They really were. It's quite something, and it's just made it all the better for, in my mind, actually getting it done. Because those couple of squeaks at the bottom really would have upset me, so I'm glad it happened. But it did. Thank you to Stairbox. So there we go. Well, there you go. It's quite a simple task when the quality of product is this good, and you've got someone like Rich who knows what he's doing to help you through it. I did leave in the footage, as you're aware, of him imparting a bit of his knowledge onto James. Thank you, James, by the way. For those of you who don't know, he gave his time for free. He just wanted to come and help and have the evidence for his MVQ, so fair play to you, James, mate. Nice one. Bill Devaney, I'm very lucky to have you. You're a jammy sod, Tone, you're a jammy sod. Yeah, so we didn't want it to be a step-by-step guide how to build a staircase, because they're all different, aren't they? But you may have picked some up from there, some hints and tips, why not? A couple of things that I wanted to go through with you in terms of Stairbox is that when I initially designed this, I decided to have an extra rise run, just an extra step, because the olds of the family aren't getting any younger, have it a little bit shallower, make it a little bit easier, we've got the room to play with, why not? So I did, and I sent it off, and their technical support got straight back to me via a phone call and said, this staircase, it's a bit long, you know, it's a bit shallow, have you got the head height? Well, for those of you who don't know, when you have a loft conversion, like we have, your escape route, your staircases down and out of the house, are very, very important to the building inspector, and you need a minimum of 2 metres from the front of the step, the nose of the step, to the point that goes over your head, basically. In which case, if I show you, so I get my words mixed up, in this house is here. just there. So it would be from the point that is directly below this point down to the nose, in which case is there. Have you got 2 metres clearance? Well, I hadn't, because I had an extra step. All these are a little bit further out and I didn't have the head height. It never occurred to me. So fair play to Stairbox, they called it, they got in contact. Are you sure? I measured it. No, I'm not sure. And I changed it back to exactly how it was with 15 steps. So thank you for them. It just goes to show about their customer support, doesn't it, and their technical support, that sort of thing. So as I said, Dave gave me this staircase, well, that one anyway, for free. Again, massive thank you to them. But how much would it have been? £390 plus VAT for a custom made, custom built, delivered staircase. I mean, what more do you want really? I think the value for money for that is fantastic. To be honest, if I'd known that at the beginning, instead of owning an R in do or don't, I'm playing it around in my head, if I'd actually gone through the website and done it, I would have ordered it ages ago, but I would have had to pay for it, wouldn't I? So I suppose a little bit of holding back, I suppose it's paid off for me personally. But there we go. So in terms of the value for money and everything, it's brilliant. They work on a 7 to 10 working day delivery time. Come on man, it's ace, isn't it? But the one thing I don't want you to take away from this is that all they do is that kind of standard staircase, kind of boring, straight MDF. They do far, far more than that. I urge you to go on their website. They do glass balustrades, oak, just whatever. Just if you can picture the most lavish staircase in your head, trust me, they will do it, made to measure, delivered to your door. So, you know, why not? Well, I hope you enjoyed that. There's a little bit of an exclusive into the next episode, being that it's all painted and everything. But join us for the next episode in this series. This is coming up very, very soon, where we will be fitting the shower panels in the ensuite, and hopefully, maybe, if we play our cards right, a bit of flooring downstairs, which will be nice, won't it? Oh, and we might even get some lights on. Things are looking up, man. Things are looking up. Thank you again to James. Massive thank you to Stairbox. And until you see us again, take care and thank you for watching.